at Prevent Obesity, and I know, looking through the agenda, there's so much interesting space around food policy and hunger and whistleblowers and quality and all those other issues. But at Prevent Obesity, we focus on childhood obesity. And I want to start with just asking, like me, how many other people struggle with their weight? They struggle with their weight, they have kids that struggle with their weight, they have their kids' friends that struggle with their weight. This childhood obesity work is really, in part, about that struggle. And it's about how to make that struggle a bit easier. I'm lucky. I live in a community where I have paths. Think about your favorite place to walk, your favorite place to exercise, maybe even a gym. Think about the store that you go to that has fresh food. Where do you get your produce? Think about the fact that most of us probably have the benefit to feed most of the calories to our own children. And what if all that's gone? There's not a safe place to exercise. There's not a safe place to go. There's not an easy access to fresh food. And more than 50% of your kids' calories get into them while they're at school. When they're coming home, the last place they go when they know they're coming back to your house is either through a street that's filled with fast food restaurants or past vending machines at school. That's the context that a lot of people have that same struggle that we have with our weight, and it's a lot harder for them. And yes, it's parents' responsibility to raise kids and to raise them healthy as they can and to have those conversations with their kids. But all marketing is about conversation. It's about an ask. And what we're talking about is who gets into that conversation and what is the different asks that different people have. So, marketing to children, food marketing spends, I think it's about $2 billion a year. I may be wrong, somebody might have a better number than me. Robert Wood Johnson talks about they're spending $100 million to reverse the epidemic of childhood obesity, and the industry has spent that by January 4th. So when we think about that, when you think about how the deck is stacked maybe against health, and how it's particularly stacked against health because of policies, I feel really fortunate to be able to come here and talk with the food policy group. And I appreciate your time. And I hope that we can talk a little bit about how we can work together to stack the deck in favor of the healthy choice being the easy choice. I'm particularly interested in digital marketing because I know it works. It's what we do at Prevent Obesity. So Prevent Obesity is set up by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. We have two goals. One is to build the base of people who are engaged in working on childhood obesity. And two is to connect the leaders who are working on that movement together to each other. We do that both on our site. So we were set up about a year ago, and we've been working almost all online to build that base, to use digital marketing, to find the people who are engaged on this issue, and work with them. And in digital marketing, small things make a big difference. So those of you in nonprofits, we changed our homepage from this look to this look. We had a 30% increase in the number of people who signed up. So like real changes from the way you present things digitally. We also monitor the blogosphere. They talk about how blogs, most of it is online. A lot of people spend a lot of time reading them. There's over 1 million blogs that we look at every day. We search them for terms around childhood obesity. We figure out who's having that conversation, what they're talking about, and how to reach out to them. We make those reports available to advocates who are working on childhood obesity, so you guys can reach out to the bloggers and get your information out that way. We also look at other tools, trends, and basic information about how is it that people are looking for information, and why is digital marketing, why do these companies need to market so much? Well, here's an example. This is Google. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to Google Insights. You can go in and you can search for a word. This is the word diet. So I put the word diet and I put the word candy in there. Candy's in red. You can see a lot of people who are online are looking for answers to this overweight issue, to struggling with their weight. And what's really eerie is how that overlaps with CDC maps on actual where the obesity epidemic is. This is that same trend. The blue line is diet, the red line is candy. That's why people have to market. This is not necessarily what everybody wants. They want something different. But there's an ask that they have, and that ask is to buy our products, which are not necessarily healthy. And that may be fine for adults, but when it enters into that conversation directly with children, it becomes problematic. This is the epidemic from 1960 to 2008. And you can go on our site, you can use this app, and you can download it and put it on your own site to talk about what's going on with this health epidemic. And you can see how you can change the obesity rate, and you can see how it moves healthcare costs, or heart attacks, or days lost. And people can get engaged and stay on board. We also have a map app where people can go on and they can use this map to find the leaders in their local communities who are working on childhood obesity. We have the benefit of being able to work with everybody from health food advocates to grocery stores to farmers markets advocates to people working on school nutrition to the First Lady's office. So we've kind of got the spectrum. You can go on there, find them, connect with them, put this app on your own website, and be a place where people can connect with those working on childhood obesity. Also, people from the network come to us with campaigns. And they come to a campaign and they say, we want to do something about this. Now, our team doesn't have policy experts, so we rely on the network to come to us with campaigns. And one of the ones that really came was this food marketing principles and the support of the interagency working group. So we launched a campaign on this a while back, and then the group of 17, the gang of companies came out and have had problems with this. So we asked our audience to write to those companies. In 1 week, we've had 15,000 people write to the 17 corporations and ask them to do better. Now, I know Mars is one of the leaders in this space, and I want to really kind of give them a shout out for some of the great work that they're doing. But I know that these parents who are struggling want more. They need more, and they want to make it clear to these companies that they need help. And they want to be the only one in charge of that conversation with their own children. So we also do social campaigning. That's also an example of how that digital marketing works. It really does connect with people, and then they take it and they push it onto their friends and their Facebook statuses, and they ask other people to get engaged and help them. And they do funny things that are great. And they stay very active on this issue. It's amazing. I was really surprised at how passionate people were about the marketing side of the childhood obesity work. So I was thrilled to come here. But when you think about that ask, we know what different people want to ask. When you think about $200 billion, what's it asking for? So today, if you go, you can see this, this call to action. And it's really just a letter to let the companies know that parents want their help. They want their help in raising healthy kids. They want them to support better standards, better nutrition standards in advertising as it's targeting children, and we hope that they step up. Now, one of the things that we promised all these parents was that we would deliver the comments. And actually, since Mars is here, I thought we have a few that I'd love to give. You guys didn't have a place to put them, but I know you want to hear from parents. And we have 15,000 of them, and a lot more to come. And we hope that you guys will hear the parents and support even more vocally your opposition to the companies that are opposing the IWG standard. Thank you.